What's going on, YouTube? Trailer Life here one more time, guys. Guys and gals and gals and gals. Yeah. It's a simple, straightforward video. Man, I had to use goop to patch up my radio to pass the DOT inspection, guys. Let me tell you, man. Let me tell you, guys. Now, some may not understand the struggle, the plight. But I'm going to tell you like this, boy. When boots in the mud, baby, you get down how you live. Man, I had to pass the DOT inspection, guys, with my truck one time. And let's just say, man, got a little hairy, man. Now, the typical person may come on in, I don't know what my mindset is or what they've been through, but I know what I've been through. And this ain't something I read in a book. This is really my reality, guys. My money was looking real crazy. And I had to make sure that my truck was able to pass the DOT. Now, I couldn't afford what the problems my truck had, because they definitely had problems. And the DOT came up. Now, some people may say, man, you're supposed to save some money to the side. You're supposed to have money set to the side for maintenance. You ain't got your priorities in order. I'm gonna tell you something, man. Look here. I don't care how much you got your priorities in order or you don't have them in order. Stuff happens. Bad times happen, dark times happen, down times happen, guys. It's just the way it is. It happens. So I had went through a breakdown to breakdown to breakdown. Then I went through a slow time at work. Man, it was just it. And the inspection was due like literally the next week. From one point when my truck had got some problem. My truck had a radiator leak, guys, right? And it started leaking at the wrong time. A week before it's time to go for my inspection, my radiator started leaking, right? I said, man, I ain't gonna pass like this, man. I ain't gonna pass with this leak going on, right? So I said, man, cause my money was looking real crazy. I ain't had no money for a radiator. So I was like, man, not right now. I said, I need to go at least 2 more weeks of consistently running to get my bread up to better get a radiator, right? Man, look at here. Desperate times calls for desperate measures, man, let me tell you. Now, here's the options I had. Either A, go in there and wing it. Hopefully they don't see the leak, which you can see the leak because it leaked at the bottom of at the bumper. It wasn't a real bad leak, it was leaving puddles on the ground, but you can see the bottom of the bumper because my bumper curves in at the bottom. You can see where it's catching the liquid, the fluid, and it's like kind of moist around the bottom. You can tell it's cooling. Unless I go in there one day when it was raining, you know what I'm saying? You probably thought it was raining at the bottom, but you can still see the red. My cooling red, right? So you can see the red. I couldn't get over it. So I go in for the gusto, man. I'm like, you know what, man? I gotta get this done, because if I don't pass the DOT, I can't work, because you can't work without your DOT being passed. And some companies you leased on to, you gotta have a 90-day DOT inspection, a 6-month DOT inspection, but the normal annual inspection is 1 year, right? But some companies got stipulations, because a lot of guys mess up stuff, man. They let their stuff go a year and don't take care of nothing on their trucks, man. Then all of a sudden, they want to make sure they want to get their truck fixed at the end of the year, because they ain't fixed nothing throughout the year. Now all of a sudden, the company's getting pulled over by DOT because they got cut out that dirty. They got riding dirty, baby. It was riding dirty. So I get it. It happens. Now, it's one thing to not take care of your truck if you ain't got the money. It's another thing that's being cheap. You don't want to take care of your truck and you do got the money. That's the problem I have. A lot of times, some of these guys don't have the money. They pass you here and there to go. You know what I'm saying? I told you guys, on our business could be real dirty, man. Some people don't believe me, but it's true. So, no, it's crunch time, you know what I'm saying? I gotta get my inspection done, and I got a leak. So what I thought was like, man, what should I do, man? How could I get through this? And how can I actually take care of this, guys? Like, how can I get this done, man? Because at the end of the day, if I don't pass this inspection on my truck, I can't work anyway, because I can't work without a clean inspection, right? There's other things I could do, but I ain't gonna say on here what they are. You know what I'm talking about? But I ain't gonna say on here what they are. But by all means, you gotta pass the inspection. So I started YouTubing and Googling, hey man, how to fix a radiator leak, how to do this, how to do that, right? I'm trying to just, man, I'm trying to get about that jam, guys. I ain't lying, man. I like, you know what, man, if I just think hard enough. So you know what I did, guys? I ain't gonna lie, I pulled from my childhood. I don't know if you guys ever heard of this, but sometimes your pain in your childhood could kind of help you out when you're grown. You know, like me growing up, we really couldn't afford a lot of stuff, so we used to piece together bikes. You ever seen those bikes with the one big wheel in the front and the one small in the back? The bike all different colors, because y'all piece it together with a bunch of different bikes y'all found in the alley. That type of stuff. You had to make your toys because you ain't had toys already. So anyway, after piecing your stuff together for so long, you start remembering how to make stuff happen, guys. So you gotta be learning from make it happen, baby. So this is what I did. So with the ingenuity of the struggle, of the hustle growing up, I don't know if that makes sense, guys. I just felt like saying that, and I just roll with it. And I'm gonna leave it in there too. I ain't gonna take it out. So I thought about some stuff. I was like, you know what, man? What could I do, man? I can't go in there with my radiator leaking. So I said, you know what, man? Let me just look at my radiator right quick. All right, let me see if I can find where the leak is at, man. You know what I'm saying? Maybe I'll be able to, you know, I don't know what I was gonna do, but I said I'll figure it out, man. So I looked, and I seen that it was leaking at the top. At the radiator, you got like a tank at the top and a tank at the bottom. And you got the aluminum part that it connects to the tank, whatever, right? I don't know what you call it. I don't know the terminology for it, guys. But anyway, the aluminum part, the coil part connects to the tank at the top. And I sprayed some brake clean on now. I sprayed some brake clean on there to see where it was at, what was leaking. And I said, man, let me just see. So I had like a 1 week, guys, a couple days to get this done, to figure it out. Otherwise, I was SOL. I was shout out of luck, I say that. So I said, let me start Googling and YouTube some stuff, how to stop a radiator leak, right? Or at least temporarily. Just enough to pass the inspection. All I want to do is get past that inspection, right? And I figure everything else out later, you know what I'm talking about? So what I did was, I found out about this stuff called stop leak or something like that. But when you put it in your cooling system, I wouldn't recommend using that. Don't use that stuff. I heard bad things about it. It said it'll stop a radiator leak or a cool leak or whatever, cooling leak, but it jacks up stuff in your motor. So after you get where you gotta go, you gotta flush your engine out to like kind of get it out your system, out the engine system before it messed stuff up. So I was like, nah, I'm cool on that one, man. I said, nah. I said, because worst case scenario, you know, I could probably just sell the truck. You know what I'm saying? If I can't get it fixed, you know, you start to get all type of crazy stuff. Engine's still good, just need a radiator. And I tell somebody, hey man, you need a radiator in the truck, you know, when you buy it. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I ain't gonna sell nobody no bogus engine in their truck, you know what I'm talking about? So anyway, that's neither here nor there. I digress. So I'm thinking like, so time is running out now. So I'm like, I found out about this stuff called goop. Goop. Goop, guys. I was like, goop. Like, yeah, it can seal anything. The subtitle here said, it seals leaks. It adheres to steel, plastic, everything, right? I was like, goop? Who made goop? So what I did, I started looking for goop, right? I went to Walmart, they didn't have it. Some Walmart's got it, but all of them don't have it. So I went to a hardware store and I found it. I found some goop, guys. It's another thing of goop called something else, something number. I forgot, it's a long number, but it's equivalent to goop. And it actually worked like goop, but it ain't goop. But anyway, but it works. So I found some goop, I found some of that stuff. And I was like, man, how you use goop though? I don't know how to use this stuff, right? So I found the leak I told you guys with the brake cleaner. I said, you know what, man? They said if you could clean the surface, where's that? Spray some goop on there or rub some goop on there. Not spray it, rub it, because it's like an adhesive or something. It's like you squeeze it out of a tube. The tube about this big, right? You squeeze it out, like it comes out like a little gel. Man, look at here, right? I said, man, so if I put some goop on there, I might be able to hold the leak off at least until I pass the inspection. At least to give me 2 more weeks to be able to pass the inspection, guys. After I pass 2 more weeks to get my money back right, man, and just go from there, right? Guys, let me tell you something, man. My days are ticking down at this point. I got like 3 days when my inspection is due. So now I'm just trying to figure out how to use this goop, because I gotta do this or I ain't gonna pass. Because I expect to see that leak, he gonna fail me. I know this. Because where I was going, I know that you'll fail, man. So I said, skip it all or nothing, right? So like the couple days left, by the time I found the goop and started applying it. So I was kind of scared to use it because I didn't know how to use it. So I was like, you know what? Let me just put it on there. It said just put it on there, right? And just leave it on there. So I took like a thin layer, about like a little thin of it, put it across the top of it. I put like 2 or 3 layers on that, like thin layers. So I was kind of scared to mess something up, even though it's already messed up. I didn't know if I was gonna mess up the radiator more, make my truck overheat by blocking up the coils. I didn't know what I was gonna do. All I know is I didn't want to mess it up, make it worse than what it was, but I didn't want to take a chance either of not doing nothing. I put it on there to 2 or 3 layers, and it said, man, if it's a temperature like kind of warm, it'll dry, right? It'll dry quickly. I said, well, between the engine heat and the heat outside, it should dry pretty fast. So I did it while I was working. Because you're supposed to put it on there and let it sit. Because, you know, if you put it on there and the fluid running through is coming through, it ain't gonna, it'll sit, it'll harden, but it'll take longer to harden because the liquid, the radiator is moving, it's moving fluid. But I couldn't afford to take off work because I had to make some money up because I needed the 2 weeks. So I said, skip it. I just throw it on there, and at every stop or every couple hours, I stop and I look at it. See if it's leaking, see if it's leaking. I look at the bottom of the bumper, see if it's leaking, right? Now guys may say, man, what's the purpose of all this? This is for real. Some of the stuff you have to do, you have to deal with sometimes when you're on operator, guys. That's all I'm saying. So long story short, a couple days went by. Now I'm only a couple days away from my inspection, and I'm looking at it, and the first day I put it on, it wasn't leaking, right? I didn't see it. But the next day it started leaking a little bit more, because what happens is liquid will find its way, it'll find the weakest hole, the weakest link. So it found its way up under the goop and came at the bottom, right? So now I was like, man, this one day before inspection, guys, desperate times calls for desperate measures, baby. Let me tell you. Remember I told you guys it was a tube of goop like this? There's a tube of it. And I only put like a little bit on there. I put like a layer on there, you know, like 2 or 3 layers. Man, when I saw it was still leaking, I said, man, I said, all or nothing, baby, all or nothing. I took the whole thing of goop, guys, and I just stuffed it in there, right? I stuffed so much goop in the coils and where the leak was at, and I put it all the way to the side. The leak was right here. I put so much goop way over here. I put so much goop way over there. I put so much goop way down there. I couldn't go up no top because the lip right there, the lip of the tank was right there. Man, it was a goop bonanza, guys. It was so much goop on there. It stopped the leak though. I ain't gonna lie, it stopped the leak. As a matter of fact, that goop, I put so much goop on there, I got 2 months out of the radio before. I got 2 months at that radiator, guys, before it started, like, before the goop couldn't hold it no more. Cause you know, coolant, man, we got a radiator leak, guys. It'll get worse. The crack will get bigger. The crack got so big where it was it was a mound of goop, and all you see was the coolant all around the goop, right? But hey, I passed the inspection. As a matter of fact, it was so crazy. When I got the inspection done, the mechanic was looking at the radiator, like, he was like, what's this? And guys, I'm in a truck, right? You know when you get an inspection done on your truck, you be in the truck because you gotta push the horn, you gotta turn the lights on, you know, you gotta do all that stuff, right? And I'm in the truck looking down, and the hood is up. It's like this, the hood was up, so you can see the radiator. You can see the top of the radiator right there. You can see the goop, the mound of goop right there. And the mechanic's standing over there, right? He's standing over there, the goop right here. And he looking like, he like, what's this? What's this on here? He went and got another mechanic to look at it. He said, man, what is this? He's like, we see this before? They're like, I ain't never seen it before. So I'm trying not to look at him. I'm looking down like this, looking like, hey guys, you know what I know something, man? This is reality, man. This is reality. I'm hoping they wouldn't say, I'm hoping that coolant leak wouldn't bust out crazy. I'm hoping that you couldn't see the red through all the goop I had on there. I had so much goop, it was kind of hard to see through it, even though goop is kind of clear, but I had so much on there that you couldn't see through it. If you could see through it, it's vaguely because there's just so much goop, right? So I ended up passing the inspection. But I tell you like this, man, if they would look close enough, they would have seen residue of the coolant, because the coolant was all on a bracket from when I didn't wipe it off. I totally forgot to wipe it off with the brake cleaner. But I was mainly concerned about getting the radiator to stop leaking, guys. And let me tell you, man, I got a couple months out that radiator, man, before I needed for the goop couldn't hold it no more. The goop. Whoever made goop, shout out to goop, man.